And Iran policy analyst, Dr. Ramesh Sepehrrad. Dr. Ramesh, thank you for joining us. I asked Steve Witkoff, President Trump's peace envoy, about how this war would end. There doesn't really seem to be a consistent answer from anyone across the administration. Why is that? Are they waiting to see how things pan out, do you think?
I think the most important thing is what is happening and the message that's coming from Iranian people. I've also heard Special Envoy talking about and making a crucial point that we must separate what the regime wants versus what the Iranian people want. I think that separation really has to lead to a right policy conclusion, because what we have seen so far, whatever that's been tried, it has not worked. It hasn't bring the regime down, whether it was the appeasement. So from my point of view, I think the most durable path is that the Iranian people really bringing this regime down on their own and through their organized resistance movement, which is uniquely positioned not only to bring end this regime, but also manage the transition and stabilize the country and move Iran towards a free election and a secular republic. I think just before the strikes began by U.S., a week before that, Iran's main opposition group, the MEK, attacked Khamenei's residence, which is the most secure place from the IRGC point of view. And this demonstrates how much they have presence inside Iran, this network of the resistance, how much they have roots within the Iranian society. This is the message that I think we need to really start paying attention to in order to look for an exit ramp and understand how we could bring this war to an end in favor of the people of Iran.
Dr. Ramesh, that's a really interesting point you've just made, and it kind of follows on to my next question, which is, excuse my ignorance, but when the administration or President Trump says it's down to the Iranian people to overthrow their government, in the simplest possible terms, what does that mean? That means invading IRGC buildings, getting hold of leaders, killing them, literally taking over the government, right? Can you just explain how that manifests?
Absolutely. I think what it really means that the Iranian people have been fighting this regime for the past more than 4 decades. I think what it means is we need to recognize their resistance, their rights to overthrow this regime, and actually support them in that context of their opposition that's on the ground, opposition that is extremely organized, and it's the same opposition, the MEK, who actually exposed Iran's nuclear program. It was the MEK who exposed the missile program. It was the MEK that exposed the proxy war and the Iranians' network across the region. So it is this particular organization that has the most reach and the most depth within the Iranian society, has been fighting this regime for the past 4 decades. And what this means is now that their fight has become the Iranian people's fight, which is to really defeat, you're absolutely right, to really defeat the IRGC in this battle for liberation of Iran. And again, on top of that, the MEK is part of the broader coalition of organizations, which is called the National Council of Resistance of Iran. Maryam Rajavi, who's the president-elect of the NCRI, has actually presented a provisional government as a way to transition the sovereignty to the Iranian people and hold a free and fair election within the first 6 months after the fall of this regime. This is the path forward, and this is what we need to pay attention to when it comes to the problem that we have at hand with Iran.
Okay, Dr. Ramesh, thank you very much. Appreciate you being on the show, on the Late Show Live. Please come back as well. That's author and Iran policy analyst, Dr. Ramesh Sepehrrad.